Hey guys, it's Tahs. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate ya. So today we are going to be going through my mid-month wrap-up. Everything I read from the 1st through the 16th. I'm a couple days late, but had some stuff doing, so we're here now. For the month of August thus far, I have read 4,194 pages. And there are 13 books that I've read from the 1st to the 16th, which is an average of 322 pages per book. So, let's go. First one was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this one is about identical twins, Kath and Ren. They, up until this point, have done everything together, and then it's time for college, and Ren decides she does not want to be a roommate with Kath, and Kath is awkward. Some things she just can't do on her own. Just simple things for most of us, but like her anxiety and stuff. So she has to figure out how to be herself without her sister there to like pick up the slack. So it was a really cute story, her figuring out what to do, meeting people and all this stuff, and then of course, get some romancy feelings and stuff. Definitely love this one. I can't wait to read something else by Rainbow Rowell. I liked her writing a lot. The next one was Stephen King's 11/22/63, and I finished this one in the first 6 days of the month. I don't know why I felt so intimidated, but I absolutely love this book. This one basically centers around a what do they call it? What is it called? Like a rabbit hole type thing where they can go back into the past. And every time they go back into the past, it's the same day, same time. And like if you go and correct something, when you come back, it stays how you corrected it. But if you go back again, it resets everything. And the goal in this book is to save JFK. And the guy who owns a diner is Al, and that's where the like rabbit hole is, and he cannot do what he set out to do, so he enlists a high school teacher named Jake to do it. And so you go through Jake's journey of getting there and having to wait however many years and do this, fix things in the past, and then he goes back and sees how things kind of change out, and he learns a little bit about the rabbit hole. And the only thing I wished was there was more of the time travel stuff in it. Like, it was really good. Like, I even cried in this book. It was just so good. I'm definitely wanting to read more Stephen King now, so I'm definitely going to take that initiative since I've put down this monster, you know what I mean? Like 6 days I had it done. So I think I can do some other Stephen King books. Highly recommend this one, especially if you were like a history guru, which I'm not, but it was very interesting to learn some of those things that I did not know. And then the next one is called New Kid by Jerry Craft. This one is middle grade, ages 8 to 12. I don't know if that's children or middle grade, I'm not sure. But it is a graphic novel, and I absolutely love it. And this is about a 7th grader named Jordan Banks, and where he lives, he has friends there and he went to school with them, but then his parents decided to put him at a new school, like a private school, where like academics are like a really big thing, and he was like one of the only persons of color. They had a few but not many, so he had to deal with some of racism and different things like that. And I just love the way that this guy Jerry explained it where a child can understand it. I think it's a great read for kids if you're wanting to kind of dip their toes into like how racism works and stuff. This was a very good read. I absolutely loved it. Abby did too. She read it before me. And then the next one I read was Queen of Hearts by Martha Brooks. This one was interesting too. This one is from the World War II time in Canada. It was about the tuberculosis crisis that was kind of going on. Everybody getting it, and they had to like go away to this facility to be treated and stuff. And there was some people never came home. Some spent months, years even trying to be healed. And it was just following this girl's journey and her two siblings that also got tuberculosis, and they were all put at this home, and their parents only visited them. They could only visit them certain times. And just seeing the struggles that these people went through that had to be separated from their families just because of a disease. Wow. I didn't know it was like a big TB breakout, around World War II. Like, I'm not even, like, I didn't know it was that big of a thing. You know what I mean? So this one right here, I enjoyed it. It followed, like I said, the main character, the oldest sister, kind of dealing with being there away from her family and trying to figure out what to do because she did not want to be there. And yeah, loved it. And in the last physical copy, everything else I read was either digital, audio, ebook or audiobook. This one was Kristen Hanna, The Four Winds. I'd been wanting to read this one, and I finally went to the library, and they actually had it. And this one is based in Texas, 1921. The Great War is over, and it was about the drought, the dust storms they kept having, and everybody wanted to move west to California because that's where the money was meant to be made. And just seeing how the people were treated when they moved west and how they had to live, the conditions and stuff, that was very upsetting, heart-wrenching. You felt for them because it's like, what else can they do? And then just the overall ending to this book crushed me. There was multiple times I cried during this book, which I've read that, like, I've heard people say, yeah, you're gonna cry, and you do. I tried not to, but them tears was just coming out. So like I said, this is about the Martinelli family. Their farm is dying, there's dust storms, and it's a desperate fight against nature and a fight to keep her children alive. The main character, Elsa, she has to figure out what to do. And yeah, I'm trying to see. It says The Four Winds is a rich, sweeping novel that stunningly brings the Great Depression and the people who lived through it, the harsh conditions, the harsh realities that divided a nation, and the enduring battle between the haves and the have-nots. So yeah, like, if you were a have, you were good. If you were a have-not, you were not. And beautifully written. Absolutely love this one. So yeah, let's get into those digital ones I had. Okay, so the next one is called Butterface by Avery Flynn. And this is part of the Hardigans. I'm assuming it's a trilogy. There's only 3 books out right now. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more. But this one is about a woman who is a wedding planner, and she's at a wedding event, and she winds up on the kiss cam that the bride decided she wanted to have. And she winds up kissing the sexiest cop, Ford. And she is not quite sure how to process that, I guess, because all of a sudden Ford keeps showing up to her house and stuff, and they have little bickerings, and you can see they both have a liking to each other, but like, she thinks it's fake because she's always been called Butterface, and the reason she's called that is because, man, her body looks hot, but her face, the typical high school thing. And she keeps thinking that he's just hanging around because her brothers are tied to the mob some kind of way. And it's just their relationship of the ups and downs. And then finally, will she believe that he really wants her? Like, she just can't believe it. It was a cute little story. I enjoyed it. I felt really bad because she kept calling herself ugly. And I'm like, high school people, like, jocks and shit, can be assholes sometimes. And that's kind of where it stemmed from. Everybody made fun of her because of one little instance at school. But like she said, she's ugly. She doesn't believe she could be pretty or whatever. So, definitely worth a read for me. And I cannot wait to read the other two in this little current trilogy. I enjoyed all the characters, the family from both sides. I can't wait to see who would be next and how the author is going to take that story. The next one was called The Jerkhole Next Door by Melinda Minks. I received this one as a digital art copy a couple days before it came out. I was super excited to be able to review it. This one was about Isla and Mez. They grew up in the same town, and the whole time they were growing up and they were in school and stuff, Mez was kind of like an asshole to her. Like, he would always, like, make her life feel like, you know, living hell. They always got paired up together in school. She absolutely hated it. Well, anyway, Mez decided, once Mez graduated, he left to become an MMA fighter, and he just recently lost his first fight. So he decided to retire at that point, and he decided to come back to their hometown. Well, she saw him out the night he came back, and of course the competition between the two started up again, and next thing you know, you realize they are freaking neighbors, and she hates that idea. But it gets even worse because now he's working at the same job that she works at, and he purposely did that. So not only do you see him every day when you come home because he's your neighbor, now you have to see him at work. And it's a enemies to lovers romance. I just wish they would have had more enemy side to it. Like, obviously the whole enemy part kind of took place more as teenagers, and they're living off of that little feud between the two up to this point. But it's like, I kind of wish we'd have had more anger before we got to the lovers part of it. But overall, it was really cute. I was super excited to be able to get the advanced copy and review it. So thank you, Melinda Minks, for that. And yeah, go ahead and read it. It is out. It came out August 9th-ish. So yay. The next one is kind of like more of a novella length, I guess. It is Theirs for the Night. It is a male-female romance. The Twisted Hearts series by Katie Roberts, and this one is about Meg, who she spent her whole life playing by the rules. Well, tonight she decided, no, we are gonna go out, we're gonna have a good time, and I can be back on my rule stuff tomorrow. Well, little did she know she was gonna be seduced on the dance floor by two men, and it was like a whole no strings attached. So why not? You're already living dangerously. You said you didn't want to play by the rules that day. Why not give it a shot, right? So this kind of, it's only 69 pages. Like, it wasn't even a ton. So basically this is just the first book to kind of tell you who they are, what they're looking for, and what could go wrong. It's only one night, right? So I want to read the rest of that series. I'm hoping it is literally just three of those characters, and it's not some other, break off characters. I really enjoyed their chemistry together. So, Katie Robert, let's see what you can do, right? Right. The next one is Undercover Bromance by Alyssa K. Adams, and this is part of the Romance Book Club series, and this one is about Brayden and Liv. Liv is a sous chef working at like her dream job. under the chef, a celebrity chef. I can't think of his name at the moment. Well, she winds up catching him harassing someone in his office or whatever, and she confronted him, and he fired her. But she now has the want to expose him. And of course, she's going to need help for that. So she goes to Brayden. Brayden is the leader of the Bromance book club. I think he's the one who kind of started it or whatever. And he is going to help her expose the chef. But he's going to have to call in reinforcements because, you know, the Bromance book club works together. And then you got to figure out, Brayden is trying to figure out how to win his way into Liv's heart, and he's realizing that real life is better than fiction. So it is a cute, heartwarming story of how Brayden assists Liv and the whole Bromance book club assist her in exposing her boss, or ex-boss at this point, and seeing if they get their happily ever after. Super cute, really enjoyed it. And I really think I want to read the books that they're reading at some point. Because that's 2 books now. This is the second one of the series I've read, and each one they're reading a book in the book club. So I want to see if I can find those books and read them and see what they're reading about. So yeah. Next we had Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the second book in the Brown Sisters trilogy. And this one is about the middle sister named Dani. And Dani, or Danica is her real name. She is a professional, what is she? She's a PhD student. So she has, she goes to work, she has a class she teaches, the whole 9 yards. And what she has figured out in life is that she does not want a forever romantic partner, no matter the gender. She wants a friends with benefits, and she'll be damned if she's not going to get that. But then here comes Zaf, who is the security guard where she works at the college, and they have like friendly banter and stuff. And then one day he rescues her out of an elevator, and then all of a sudden there's this hashtag Dr. Rugby, and little did she know that Zaf used to play rugby, I believe it is, and yeah, a former rugby player. And this hashtag goes viral, and they decide to get into a fake relationship to help with the success of his little organization that he has off to the side, where he helps kids, like he does charity stuff where he helps kids, and he really kind of needs the funding, but he's always trying to stay out of the spotlight. So of course we all know how a fake dating goes. Somebody's always going to catch the feels. So now we get to watch Danica and Zaf compete with those struggles and hopefully get their happily ever after. I absolutely love this. Dani was like super headstrong female powerhouse, and Zaf, from how they described him, that is one sexy man, I can't even lie. So I don't know. This is the second book I've read by Talia Hibbert, and have not hated either one. Absolutely love both of them. And I think later on this month, or maybe next month, depending on what my schedule looks like with reading, I'm going to be reading Actor Eve Brown, which is the last book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, which I'm kind of sad about because I love the first 2 so much. I kind of don't want it to end. So maybe there'll be like a off this trilogy kind of thing. Who knows? So yeah, definitely recommend that one. And then The Beast by Katie Robert. As you can see, Katie Robert, there's still one more that I haven't told you about that is also Katie Robert. So she was definitely kind of a high priority author for me this month. And this one was The Beast. This one is about Isabel, and she fell in love with two men a long time ago, and she lost both of them, which would be the Beast and Gaetan. And unfortunately, her father has passed, and her and her sisters are kind of now in control of their territory. So there's a threat coming in, and they have to secure their power. So she is tasked with the what is the word I'm looking for? Tasked with the point of she has to go and find these two men and get them to come back. But like she said, she was in love with both of them. She still is in love with both of them. They both have strong feelings for her still. So the question is, can the three of them work together and be the powerhouse that they need to be for their territory? Or will it all just right in front of their faces? So this follows that journey of her finding them and figuring out what they're going to do, and just hot. It was hot, I tell you that. Steamy, steamy, steamy. So if you're not really into the, erotic, BDSM, like that type of stuff, this would not be for you. But if you are, definitely check this book out. I've loved every single one I've read so far. There are 7 books in this series, the Wicked Villain series. And this is book 4. And the next book is The Sea Witch, book 5. So I cannot wait to get to that one next. This is a very good series in my opinion, but like I said, it's not for everyone. So make sure you check the tropes and whatnot and see if it's anything that'll kind of set you off if you have triggers. So yeah, Katie Robert, man, you are doing it for me this month. The next author, Helen Hart, I believe is how you say it. I have read a lot from her in the past. I've absolutely loved everything I've read from her. And this book, Follow Me Darkly, it's a series. As of right now, it has 4 books, and it did not disappoint. The only thing I was disappointed about was the fact that it leaves on like a good-sized cliffhanger, because all 4 books connect to the 2 main characters in the first one. And this one is about Sky. Sky has, she's an assistant to a influencer online, and she's also a photographer, but she wants to have big photographer dreams like National Geographic, not Facebook, Instagram type thing. So she's trying to climb that ladder to get where she needs to be, but then here comes self-made billionaire Braden Black. Braden basically told her, hey, we're gonna go out. So she's coming to terms with him talking to her and actually liking her, and she felt like she was this in a Cinderella story, because she's dating this billionaire, but little did she know he has a dark side, and it is a dom sub storyline. And the question is, will she stick with that or will she not? But she's new to the game. And of course, when you're new, you're curious. So, yeah. Beautifully written. Loved it. Helen Hart, like everything I've ever read from her. So freaking good. So I cannot wait to read the next 3 that go with this one. I don't know about you, but I love a good dominant there. So hopefully the next 3 of their story does not disappoint. Alright, and the last book that I read is called Seducing My Guardian by Katie Robert. It is part of the Taboo series she has. This is book 5. That's the only one I've ever read out of this. What is it called? Series. There we go, series. So I don't know. I don't think you have to read these in order from what I gather. But this one is about Hazel, who on the night that her parents died, because they both died at the same time, a man shows up, a very good-looking man, and says, hey, I'm your guardian, and then he ships her off to boarding school for 3 years and ignores her. 3 years. And then come her 19th birthday, he shows up to save her because she's always doing something stupid to kind of like get his attention or whatever. And he tempts her, and then he ignores her for another year. And it goes on like this until her 25th birthday. On her 25th birthday, she is free of him being her guardian. So she decides when she turns 25, she's going to make sure he shows up wherever she is. So she makes sure, hey, I'm going to tag my location on my Facebook. He's going to show up. And I'm going to seduce him. I have so many fantasies that I need to play out. I'm going to seduce him for one night. And then I'm going to send him on his way and ignore him like he ignores me. But just hearing that, do you really think one night after 9 years of lusting or craving, tempting, is going to cure that? Like, okay, cool, I got you for one night. Let me do all my fantasies that I have about you. And then I'm just going to forget about you. No. This one is another very steamy, very hot. So if you're looking for something that's, easy, quick, it's only like 150 pages long, gets the point across, and very steamy if you want to read that. So yeah, that is the 13 books that I have read so far. I hope you guys enjoyed. Huge thumbs up if you did. And I will see you guys with a wrap up at the end of the month for whatever I read for the next 15 days. Well, it's actually less than 15 days now, but from the end point of this video, you get it. See y'all. Bye.